Hi guys. I just started reading a book I'm really enjoying. This book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life by Daniel G. Amen, MD. And in it, he talks about an exercise called killing the ants. Also, I picked affirmations as a new coping skill to work on a few days ago. So I'm making this video called Killing the Ants and Affirmations. So we'll start with killing the ants. Ants are automatic negative thoughts. These automatic negative thoughts, the ants, could also be cognitive distortions. If you aren't familiar with cognitive distortions, you can find a list of the 10 most common ones at dbtselfhelp.com/html/cognitive_distortions.html. I'll put a link in the description. I might do a separate video about the 10 most common cognitive distortions at some point because there's a lot to know about them. Okay, so these ants can be anything from she never listens to me to I'm stupid and weak to he's being quiet because he thinks I'm annoying and boring to people always take advantage of me. I have a lot of these thoughts. I don't think about them, they just occur automatically. I think that might be because I've made it a habit to think that way, and now it's very difficult to think differently. I also believe in brain plasticity, that I've had these thoughts so much that they have altered the way my brain is wired on some level, but that's a whole different topic. Anyway, ants can be a huge barrier to feeling better in a lot of ways. It's hard to love yourself or get out of a horrible mood or make positive changes when your brain is constantly telling you horrible, self-defeating negative crap. So one way to work on that is to kill the ants. A first very important step is to realize that the automatic negative thoughts don't always tell the truth. Most of them are just being generated without intention, and we don't need to believe them. So we can talk back to the ants. We can challenge them. Obviously, that's easier said than done, because I don't know about everybody else, but I mostly believe my negative thoughts, even though I'm not going out of my way to have them. So it can be really hard to argue with them, and a lot of times, even when I do it, it feels fake. So, so it's difficult. But the more I argue with them, the better I'll get at it. So one example is if I have the thought, I'm a sick, weak person and borderline personality disorder rules my life. Or maybe my thought is a lot more vague than that. It's just I'm never going to get better. But the first thought is the more specific fear behind it. I've got to look for a way to challenge that. Some days it won't be so hard to kill that ant. I can tell it, no, I'm suicidal less often than I used to be. I'm in therapy. There's more success treating BPD than there was 20 years ago. I used a coping skill yesterday. I'm working hard at that, and I smashed the ant. Other days, it's going to be practically impossible to think of something to use against this thought. I'm going to have to grab on to anything I can, like, this is just a setback, these will happen, and I know this, I've had these before. I'm not weak, I did blank today, even though I totally felt like crap, even if it's like, I brushed my hair today, or I got out of bed today, even though I feel like crap. I'm not weak. And you kind of feebly mush the ant, but you still got it. And maybe the ant comes back in a couple minutes, but you're practicing and you're working on it, and it's going to get easier. So killing the ants is obviously going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to be patient and give yourself grace when you have a hard time and you fail and you get trapped back in the negative thoughts. I'm going to have to give myself grace and be patient. This is a skill I really need to work on. I give up too easily when it's difficult or when I don't believe my own arguments. I think that's something I'm just going to have to push through until it becomes more sincere. Okay, so kind of connected to killing the ants is this idea of affirmations. Affirmations are positive things you tell yourself, usually about something you want, in order to encourage yourself or kind of impress the idea upon your mind. So, I am beautiful might be a good affirmation if you think you're ugly and you want to feel beautiful. If you want to have discipline, you might tell yourself, I'm a disciplined person and I have lots of willpower. Some people even believe you can use affirmations to influence outside forces, kind of like the law of attraction, and will use affirmations like money comes to me easily and effortlessly, or I'm a money magnet and attract wealth and abundance. And some people just use statements like that to feel more positive and comforted. Um, Obviously, this isn't a brand new idea, and the power of positive thinking is something we'll hear a lot in therapy, or that people who don't have a mental illness will tell us, we just need to think positively, blah 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 blah. And I've never given affirmations a fair shot because in the past I felt like it was really silly to tell myself things that I didn't believe, and I felt stupid saying them and would get angry when I did it. Like, if I felt ugly, like I would feel really stupid and get angry saying, I'm beautiful, or I love myself, or I have confidence. It actually made me angry. But the more I read about brain plasticity and cognitive distortions and negative thinking, the more I think that I need to work on these and kind of retrain my brain to think more positively. I don't think positive thinking is going to cure borderline personality disorder, but I think this is going to help. I picked 5 affirmations to start with, and I picked 5 that are a little easier for me to believe. Personally, if I chose something like I'm beautiful, that's a high level for me, like a one that's going to be really hard for me to convince myself of. So I started with some that are a little more realistic to me, and I think that's a good place to start. I wrote them on index cards, and you can't really see them. And I'm posting them around my house, so I see them a lot, and I'm also saying them to myself at certain times, several times throughout the day, and then whenever I think about them. So the ones I chose are: I have power over the way I react to things. I can stand it if I don't get what I want. I have the strength to accept life as it is. My future will not be a reflection of my past. And I am defeating borderline personality disorder one day at a time. So that's about it for now on killing ants and affirmations. Feel free to comment or contact me. My info is in the description. Thanks, guys.